Hello, buddies. Welcome to another edition. Ah, shit.
Huh?
Rabbit.
Restart?
Ah,
Damn it.
got us again.
Yeah, got me again. Welcome to the show. A live edition. Look at us all together. Look at us doing this thing. Isn't it nice?
Pascals?
Isn't it great? Yeah, just chopping it up, tee-heeing and giggling. Back together again. So good. How we doing, everybody? Good?
My eyes are itchy.
Oh, dear. Does that need some eye drops?
What's going on here?
Does that happen if you get high? You get itchy eyes?
I just thought you burn one down before you come in, get red eyes. I don't know.
Blasting them.
Come on now. Settle down. Welcome to the Tower Chrysler Studios. Tower Chrysler, of course, Southern Alberta's favorite Dodge Ram Jeep dealer. Last time we saw Serge, he was in a dunk tank.
Shirt off.
Yeah. I had I've had some visits with Serge the last couple of weeks. Saw him on what day is it today? Saw him on Friday, and then saw him last week as well. He came into the studio. He was like, "Whoa!" He was blown away by our studios.
Had he not been here before?
He'd not been there before.
Still sugar-free, Serge?
I think he's backed off a little bit. Okay. But you know what, though? Still very health conscious. He came in and had a visit. We were just kind of, cutting it up. And he had to run because he had the yoga deal at 5:30. So yeah, I gotta go. Well,
we had Serge out to the old Surge game, which was a blast, and he's hanging with all these Stampeders and Flames. You know, it's part of his entourage. These guys are looking fit, so Serge has got to be on his game. A little older than those fellas. Tiny bit of sugar, max.
What do you say?
Maybe zero. He was best behavior at the Surge game.
Calling him old. He's Serge mixing with the Illuminati. It's a who's who of the Calgary social scene, and Serge is right in the thick of it. And you know what? Actually, I was I think they're going on their fishing trip. Retro, their BC salmon trip.
I thought I'd talked my way into that, but
I kind of did too. I was like, "Oh yeah, hey, when is that?" Right away. Hey,
what are the dates on that?
Yeah, we leave tomorrow.
Okay.
So lost the
invite. Doing it again next summer then.
I'll tell you what, as long as he gives you that candied salmon at the end of the trip, I don't know if they smoke it or what they're doing to it. It is unbelievable. I'm happy with that.
I made salmon yesterday, and I was thinking about it. That exactly.
I also had salmon yesterday.
Really?
Were your eyes itchy?
What'd you do?
I mean, it's unbelievable. I think, you know what I think? Serge. I think he takes members of the staff. I think he takes guys fishing. It's kind of for all your good work. Kind of a boss is
that? The lady in the next office, she won the Derby. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
He takes staff.
The big tie.
Huge thing. Massive.
Go in and see Serge if he's there. If he's not on a boat or in Downward Dog, go and see Serge. They will take care of you. They got all kinds of stuff going on at Tower. The deals are there. Go and take part. Good to have the everybody over at Tower on board. So here we are. It is August. How has our summer been thus far, gentlemen? I'll hang on with you, Pinder, because I know it's a circus. Retro, what have you been doing?
Nothing. It's been busy, but a lot of nothing.
He keeps talking about going places.
Going here, going there, little trips. Yeah. Fast again.
Are your kids playing hockey?
They've skated a couple times, more just to get them out of the sun because they go in the backyard and swim all day, and it's like you're just gonna melt eventually. So
good.
Let's go.
We've had good weather actually, right? There's been a lot of good lake days.
Yeah. Very good weather. Too hot.
I don't like that we're into August, fellas.
August, seriously.
What are we
doing? It's still to this day, because I would always get to August was my I better get in shape moment.
Fat boy moment, yeah.
And then you'd step on the scale like today, and it'd be like, oh, I'm effed. And then your life would just crumble because you knew you had weeks to get in shape. And training camp used to be earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate August.
Especially as a youngster, they'd have a prospect thingy, check in early.
You knew those calipers were coming for you, hey, Retro? The fat calipers?
I would eat canned salmon and I would maybe a pickle.
Boiled chicken breast.
Yes.
Salads.
Diet.
Just running for hours, moving, trying to burn off the excess. And never learned.
No.
Never once learned that, maybe if you maintained and didn't
No, it's too much fun to be had in June and July. I'm with
That's
you.
right. That's right.
way out there.
What was that? There's that day in January where you get all your credit card bills from Christmas and
yeah.
it's dark and no one's got any vacation. Your Black Monday is August
It
1.
is.
It's not the third week of Jan when the credit card bill.
Yeah, it could be Tuesday, Wednesday. That's
Hated
Black
it.
Monday.
I
Yeah.
hated it. Anxiety, and I still have a.
That's
I was going to say, well, what about now, post career? Do you have the
It's
same?
still around.
Yeah.
It's still around, and it's less maybe to do with what's coming up for me, and more to do with what's coming up with kids and activities and school.
Okay, guess what I fucked up?
You missed the
Last night at midnight.
sign in. Now you got to pay the extra money.
I got the late
Gotta pay
fee.
more.
God damn it.
$200.
Oh, the early bird's over. Hey, yeah.
Per kid.
Oh,
And I literally said to my wife, we
Let's
watched
not
for ice
forget.
cream last night. I said, hey, tonight I'm signing the boys up for hockey. I think
Well-
August 1st is when that late registration fee kicks in. And I got to the off day and I just let out a painful yell. But, oh!
because you didn't know they were going to want to play.
Well, exactly. And I definitely didn't get the email like on June something when you can start registering. What an idiot. What am I doing? Oh,
It's okay.
that's a Rhett thing to do, not a
It's
Pinder thing to do.
totally a
It's a very Rhett
I
thing.
dealt with it yesterday. We have NHL, this insurance thing, and every last day of July, you have to have it filled out and sent in. And holy,
I know. And the first one takes forever because you got to fill out all these sheets. But after that, it's just like basically
Yeah.
credit card. Like, come
Fill
on,
in your
Ryan.
credit card.
Well, what's good though, Ryan, is at least you only have 2 kids. So with
It's
the
too late fees.
with the raise, with the bump
Yeah.
up in price, it's probably only about a $450, $500 mistake.
It's $500 before taxes. That's the mistake.
Yeah,
Just a donation.
Oh,
bugger all. Yeah,
I don't know.
you're a good
who I can
community
try
guy
to
though.
schmooze out of
What
this,
is
but
it?
I think you got to do.
What are you,
some calling
Glen
this morning.
Glen Lake?
Say
Glen
my.
Lake. Unlike Go
my-
Hawks.
Well, congrats to Glen
Computer
Lake.
crashed.
Good of you, Pinder, to be helping out Glen Lake.
New
Pinder's-
songs for the whole
I can't
organization.
believe
You're
Pinder's
welcome.
computer crashed last night and he couldn't get
Isn't that
filled
crazy?
out and sent
Yeah.
in. Do you mind giving him a few hours?
That
of-
internet went down, didn't
Yes,
it? Yeah.
bastards.
I know.
Mhm.
I'll send a note about that.
Can you imagine some of the stories that they get?
Oh,
Yeah.
I had 9 people in my family die, and I was at the funerals for all 9, and I
that
just
kid
didn't have
pissed on
time.
my computer.
Do you not have a heart? When's the like 9? Does anybody else have 9 deaths in the family
$100.
on July 31st? It's a bugger. It's a
Could use
bugger.
that too.
Well,
right.
you could take us for dinner. Like you're
That's
just
what I mean.
pissing
That's
it
a
out the
really
window.
nice week. Never
Yeah.
mind a dinner. Jesus.
All right, Pinder, lay it out for us. What have you been doing?
Well, we've a bit of time in Windermere, which is great. We stack it with all the cousins, aunts, and uncles. There's another Pinder grandchild on the way due in September, so we've got pregnant
Congrats,
aunt.
Ryan.
It is no.
I didn't
What
know you
i-
and Jody were expecting.
Yeah, what's the max
Capacity.
capacity? But more importantly, because you can cram everybody in.
Yeah.
If it's one day,
Oh yeah.
what's the length? What's the time frame? What can we deal with?
Well, everyone wants to come up weekends, and this time of year, maybe you steal a Friday, so you come up Thursday, you leave Sunday evening. So it's kind of like 3-4 days, and it's a 3-story like townhouse, but it's king bed, queen bed, bunk beds, queen bed, and then we converted the garage into a pull-out.
Okay, but
So
you've
that's
got
like
the
14
space,
people.
but you're still going to drive each other.
One
right?
kitchen, yeah. And so in the summer, it's fine because you can shoo everyone out of there pretty quick. It's just like someone's on breakfast duty, fire out some egg sandwiches, and we're off to play baseball or down to the beach or on the bikes. I went mountain biking on Saturday, saw a bear, like a grizzly 30 feet away. That was insane. Do you remember when I fell on my bike and was covered in wounds for like,
I
It wasn't
do.
there.
so this is the first time that I've mountain biked since then. It was the same as Mount Swansea, and that I was like 1-0 Swansea. It was in my head the whole day.
Slippy,
Didn't
slappy.
fall.
Swansea.
The Samsonite, but turned a corner and I think it was a 1 or 2 year old bear grizzly, and I was like, "Where's Mama?" Well, okay, we're good. And then just started making noise, and off the bear went. We gave it a few minutes, and
I'm surprised you didn't
Get
get
on
off
our
the
way.
bike and be like, "Oh, joob, he's a cutie."
I mean,
Oogie,
they're
boogie,
fuzzy,
boogie.
but the reputation precedes them. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I didn't know any better, that's a hell of a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
So,
So-
And you've been chasing bears
Yeah.
and kids.
lots of aunt, uncle, cousins, nephews, kid
I
time.
still don't get it. Like, you didn't answer my question. How long? Because we were considering going to northern Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, it's about an 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
And it's about a 2-day max. Because
So
after that,
yeah.
shit falls apart and people are owly and you kind of need separation.
So we had 11 and 1 on the way this past weekend, and 3 days is about it.
Yeah.
But we sort of take turns on the weekdays, and weekends it's everyone's welcome. So it's
Okay,
never more
so-
than like Friday to Sunday of chaos.
Yeah, you're not spending 10 days
No.
cooped in that.
Yeah, we got a big old spreadsheet of who's there when, and
Gotcha.
everyone sort of takes their turns
You
in the
have been
weeks.
very organized lately.
Try.
Right.
That's
So 3
course.
stories.
Nature.
How many shitters?
Oh, the key.
3, luckily.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Just okay.
Just
yeah,
Just-
narrow, just
just
scraping
okay.
by. But again, there's one down at the beach, and it's lots of time away from the. You couldn't do this in the winter; you'd kill each other. I mean, you know how many Penders there are there? That's a lot of Penders.
We go every summer to kind of something similar in Saskatchewan, and it's a number of families. It's too many people in too small a space, but it's only a few days.
Yep.
And they have just the one shitter. There's an outdoor shower, luckily, which is nice, but there's the one, and that septic truck's there every 12 hours.
Stay here.
Just run a candle in there 24/7.
Yeah,
There
it's
has a place at Castle,
Just
and
getting nuked.
I can't stay at his house because there's only one. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I need my own.
well, that's good.
What about you, Dean? Toilets, eh?
Speaking of toilets, what a summer!
Yeah. Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, it's
Elongated?
no one knows how to party like me, fellas.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got the trip out of the way with Nashville. You said you didn't want to leave your house again.
That's
You're
true.
true to your word.
Plus,
Shit, yeah.
you've got something holding you down now.
No, it's
Oh,
supposed to
I
be
mean,
in
I'll talk
studio
about the
today, Dean.
shitter. You know what? I'm tapping out.
A malady. You've got a malady.
You're tapping out.
I had a little get together with my doc last week, and it's like, well, once you start taking allopurinol, you're just kind of on it for life.
Yep.
And the rule of thumb is if you have 4 gout attacks in a month, you're in. That's it. Allopurinol, start it, stay on it. you're
Rock and
in.
roll.
And I'm like, geez, I think it was like 2, maybe 2.
You're
So
fine.
it really doesn't feel like that's
This is-
necessary. And I
arthritis.
swear to Christ, from the moment I hung up the phone, it was like, ooh, that's kind of
Wow, the mind is a powerful thing.
Tender.
fuck.
Here.
I got gout,
wanna do-
boys.
How many in
Got
a
the
month?
gout
though?
again, and I had no to stay home. It's like, how bad could it be? It was maybe the worst one yet. I had a bad one. What was it, about a month ago?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's been since I was back. So.
It came on a little bit yesterday, and I got on the colchicine or whatever to try and knock it down. This morning I woke up at about 2:30. It's like, oh boy, she's humming. I was telling you guys before we started, I got to take my kid into work. He's working early mornings. So I'm like, I'm getting up at 4:45 anyway. I'll just take the stuff then. And bad idea. Yeah. Because then if you don't get in front of it and you're behind it,
Yeah.
You're not catching
there's
up.
no catching up. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like the Tour
No.
de France. Once
Well,
that
and
fucking toe's got the sweater on, whatever it is, the yellow
yellows.
fucking jersey,
Yeah.
you're not
Target.
catching it.
No.
I want to do this with you. Somebody sent me something over the weekend. Dana White did it. Some doctor, Greca or something like that. Blood work thing will predict within a month of when you're going to die.
When you're
Oh
going to
my
die. I don't want to know. You don't want to know.
But you can change it.
I feel like the over already is paid out on Boom. Like,
But
if
you
you
can-
would have asked us 10 years ago, he's no way he's making another
But you can
decade.
change it. Then they'll give you advice as to.
But the
this
thing
where you're
is,
effed.
how much can you change it? Like a couple days? A week?
Oh,
right?
I think if
It's
you
like
wanted to
you're
run
dying.
5K a day, you'd probably help it a bunch. But
Yeah. When you're at
works out
54,
about
you're going to die at 54. Well, geez, if I turn things around, I might make 54 and a half, like 6 months. Like how much wiggle room
Well, we gotta
or room
look
for
into
improvement
it.
is there?
I just think it would be great, especially over
Good
the summer
entertainment,
when there's
yeah.
F all to talk about.
Well, and at minimum, you need to bulk up on your insurance if you got that
That's
date
right.
figured out. When does
Now-
that
Yeah,
policy
don't share
expire?
that with them.
Because I've seen, it feels like there's a lot of Dana White coming up in my algorithms and shit lately. Because I watched an interview with him. Because what's that? It's the guy that has was it 10X? Is
Yeah,
that
10X is the name of the company.
Yeah. So he was sitting down with the guy that started 10X. Now, did he actually say what his number was? Like
He
what
had
his
10
age?
He had 10 years to go.
What?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, it was 10 something, but
Yeah.
he was like, I was within a decade of now.
And then he got on this
He approved
10X
that.
thing, and he says he feels like he's 30 years old.
He looks better, actually.
Yeah.
this feels like a very, very high-end marketing ploy as well. Not just from the outside. I haven't seen the damn thing.
See,
The other thing
he's
is you
skeptic.
They do
roll
have
in
that
after-
famous sales guy, Grant Cardone.
Cardone.
I think he owns the company now,
Yeah,
so
he's doing all right,
he
yeah.
might be.
How would your blood look? Let's say after 3 days in Nashville. I feel like they'd give you about 8 minutes left. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
other
you better.
thing. No?
Yeah,
This
own
is
your family.
this is molasses. Actually, this is not a blood sample.
Ragu.
What? Is that gravel in there? What have we got going? But didn't he even talk about that, or was it him? Or I'm trying to remember who it was. The blood sample before and after, you could tell just by looking at it that it was different.
yeah, I didn't see that part, but
Yeah.
that
Said it
was the
looked like
gist I got.
Chardonnay.
Now is that AI, Dean, or is that real? Where's your
No,
trust
I don't
level
know.
on
I
this
can't
thing?
trust fucking AI. So yeah. Got the gout and replaced the toilet, which is what.
Now you said the elongated yesterday, so what? Just change it up. What do you feel? It's a better fit.
It's
More
definitely a
space?
better fit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel I deserve it.
You've earned it.
Now,
Yeah.
do you want to pull back the curtain a little bit? Some people might not know what we're talking about here.
Was that damn kid over again?
Oh,
Destroying the bowl.
that's dad.
Yeah. No, you know what? And I should have uploaded the friggin' photos,
It'd
but
be
whatever.
perfect, yeah.
We've had, it's kind of every once in a while, it's like, geez, the friggin' toilet's leaking. Like, why is there water on? And there was no real rhyme or reason. It wasn't steady. Finally, it was like, you know what? I'm just going to go and see. And end of the day, the people that built the friggin' house, the whole back of the bowl was just shattered. Where there should have been porcelain, it was just jagged. So these pricks dropped the fucking toilet, and they're like, "Well, do we get a new one or
Nobody's looking back there.
just throw it in there? He's not, not going to see." So sure as shit for
Well,
whatever.
you just moved in. I mean, it's
We've only been here since 2007.
Just been leaking for about a decade and a half, right?
Yeah. So
damn, kids are pissing all over.
yeah. So I decided, you know what? Let's go. Let's get after this thing. I don't know what I'm doing, but there's
Yeah.
YouTube. So I went to the old the Home Depot and grabbed myself a new turlet, hauled the old one out, put the new one in. It's really
Well, here it is. Look at this.
well, yeah, that was a couple days
That
ago.
guy, there's no way he's got 10 years left. Oh shit, that's Dean.
Yeah.
You got the level out there. That's good.
I love the headlamp, Dean. That is wonderful.
Very
That's
dark
approach,
in there, eh? Very dark in the in that
Using
corner.
the level, you don't want to be leaning one way or the other when you're on a
Oh,
table.
guys are friggin' chirping me. Oh, look, he's got a level on. I got a level.
You want to do it right.
You don't want to get a new bowl and install it, and then it's like, this friggin' thing's still leaking? What
Falling
the hell?
off it.
Exactly.
Plus,
You
as I get
you
older, my
fall off
my equilibrium's off. I fall off the shitter. That'd be a hell of a way to die.
Head done.
Go to vertigo. That'd be a tough transition.
Who was it? Wasn't it Mama Cass or somebody died eating a ham sandwich? Who died on the
Oh, I think
shitter?
it
I'm
was,
trying to
yeah.
remember. Anyway,
From the mamas and the papas, right?
maybe. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, that's
That's
look
it.
at
Oh, gee.
retro. Look
What
at that.
that is.
Chop,
I
chop.
think you could.
So that's the shot from behind. Now, because again, the bowl, the top that holds the water reservoir, sits on top of that. So unless you wouldn't see it from the front, some prick installed that fucker in my house.
These
nice.
dopes won't figure it out for 15 years anyway.
I dropped it. What should I do?
be dead.
Just install it. Come on.
That's tough.
And I would say that probably 99.5% of all tradespeople out there are the best. And I got the
You got the
whatever's
five.
left.
Now,
9.5.
given that you put a bunch of work in here, this doesn't look like a small project. I think that would, at least in my universe, allow you the maiden voyage on said boat.
There have been many voyages. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you smash a champagne bottle?
Yeah.
Fucking lid. Let's go.
Yeah, I smashed something in there.
Toilet.
Yeah, there was an explosion. And then celebration. Oh, yes. So, but no, you know what? This one, and again, that one, they put cheap shit in our house. This one, free plug, Kohler.
Oh.
Went for it. Sits a little higher. Now, I know you're supposed to have, with
high
Get
the
the squatty potty.
squatty potty, the shitter stool or whatever, supposed to bring your feet up. But sits higher, the bowl's elongated. I am riding in style.
Fewer squats. I like it, Dean.
Hours and hours.
Built to last.
Where's Dad? Huh?
Yeah.
Kohler.
Life's good, boys. Life's good. We got some things to get through today here on the show. We'll do...
Lots of sports talk.
Oh, so much.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a
Also
lot
was thinking, because I got to throw it out there because I'll forget. I think we got to do, what was the old school? We've talked about this before, where we sell stuff on the show.
Oh, the old swap and shop?
Swap and shop?
Whatever they call it, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think
What do
this
you
would
have
be
for
great
sale?
this.
Yeah.
I've got a lot. I was going to go through the garage and start taking pictures of stuff, send them to Jack, and maybe next week we can start moving some things.
Well, we had a call the other day with Red, I think yesterday, and it looked like wherever you were on a computer, that just looked like a storage facility. I was sure you were out of the
it's a
province.
fancy office that
Ooh.
had to be,
Just
fully designed.
piles of shit.
And speaking of which, you just moved into that house, right? Like you're
Oh,
still unpacking.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why there's stuff
Did you ever
lying
move
around. We
out?
just
Yeah,
haven't
I
put
don't know.
stuff away yet.
But you've got some shit to sell, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
By the views we saw of that room.
But
There's
there are
the-
some things. I know it's going to shock you. We do have some things that we want to do today. Let's start off here. It is the 1st of August. We here at Barn Burner and Flames Nation would like to say, welcome back to our partners at Betway.
Oh,
Back in Betway, Bet the Responsible Way, the official gaming partner of Barn Burner, back for another calendar year. Good to have the boys back on board. Bet the Responsible Way. Get that app on your phone. Have some fun. God love you, Betway.
Betway boys.
The
That
Betway boys.
Tootsie's was not paying much money by the end of that week in Nashville. It was like minus 500. If they weren't seen there, you could make some money.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys are beauties.
Yeah, they didn't dip a toe, hey? It was...
No, full plunge, deep end.
yeah.
Let's go.
So this
Water
is
wings
Nashville,
for
hey? I got it.
Alex and James, like getting her done.
Yeah, so awesome. They're good boys. They take good care of us, and we're happy to have them back on board. We'll do Betway Bets coming up near the end of the show, and we'll have more Betway stuff throughout the when there's
Yes.
hockey. Apparently, there's going to be hockey played, and there'll be more things going on.
No
but,
lockout?
Not a lockout year.
no.
Striking.
And football. What are we about a month? I think I thought
NFL, baby.
37 days to the start of the NFL season.
Oh, it's we're at people getting hurt in non-contact drills phase of training camp. That's where we are right now.
It's exciting.
I believe which wide receiver was it yesterday that it was like a 1-year anniversary of his ACL injury and he blew his Achilles. Like, oh God,
Yeah.
it's tough times.
Drink some water.
Yeah, it's just dead bodies from now until they kick off. Like just oof.
Also, on a
don't refresh
football
the Twitter.
update, the greatest CFL fan and Ryder honk ever texted me on the weekend and said this league is dying.
Ooh.
He's like, I can't even get excited about it right now. So we got to find a way.
Who's the fan? Your uncle?
Is it Bart?
Mr. Kuntz.
Oh, really?
Coons, Jamie.
I
Well,
know.
and part of that is the Edmonton's no good, Calgary's no good, Saskatchewan's not great. You've got some teams that
true,
don't
but-
have. No one cares in Toronto whether they're good or not.
That's right. And they are good, but no one cares.
So unless Saskatchewan is good,
Those three teams you named need to be good, actually.
And Winnipeg is probably
Winnipeg's.
become your model franchise at this point. They've hung what 2 banners the last 3 years. They sell that place out. It's great atmosphere. Young people are there.
Well, it's Winnipeg. They don't have that fault to do.
That's
You go
fair,
to the
and I
lake or
think
you
that's
go
a
to
bit of the
Mountains.
league's problem. If you look at the 4 biggest cities in the league, I think apathy's at an all-time high. That would be Toronto.
I still never
Vancouver,
understood
Montreal,
the why not Halifax? They didn't have.
Oh,
a
you know,
deal.
it's only been 15, 20 years where they could add a 10th team instead of having 3 buys and teams playing twice in a week and all
because
kinds
I'm
of
quite
nonsense.
certain that they would support it. No,
Oh, they sold out 13,000 a couple of weeks ago there.
well, we can't have that.
at the same time, and I know you like to take runs at the CFL. It's who's ponying up with the dough to build a football stadium to have 8 or 9 events.
It's
a
a
year.
tough ROI. Like they had something in place and the pandemic killed it. That was the sad thing. They had some public money.
There's got to be enough dopes out there with money that could do it
there's a couple families
friendly.
If they want it, they can do it.
For, like, people from Halifax are proud to be from Halifax, right? Like,
oh yeah,
and I'm guessing there's people with enough dough. It's the CFL.
I think it would be like the Riders.
$1 billion franchises. And you know what? I don't think you'd have to pay a franchise fee at all anyway. Here, you want to put a team? Go. We're good.
The 10th team would help a ton.
And I think
the quarterback play has been pretty shitty around the league. It's not like we're looking at stars that are going to get calls from the NFL. There's a lot of teams you're like, I don't think this is good play. Like Mayer here has been brutal. There's been a bunch of quarterback injury. Brutal's probably strong. There's been a bunch of injuries around the league this year that at that position too. That hurts. Caliber of play.
The NFL rules.
I just looked because I knew it was bad. The Riders, the Stampeders, and the Elks have played a combined 10 home games. 1 victory between the 3 teams.
Stamps used to be a lock at home too.
Yeah,
like 80% over the course of a decade, something silly like that. Like better than New England in their prime.
I'll tell you what's changed.
Tell me.
Dave ain't talking to us.
Oh, do you know?
Sorry, is that Dave. What it is? He needs some karma, does he?
Well, Dave gets uptight. Dave gets wound up about this shit, and he needs us to calm him down. Bring him off the ledge a little bit.
The Elks still haven't won in Edmonton as the Elks.
So good.
Like 2019, their last home win.
Good for them.
Was Jack even allowed to drink in 2019? Like, that's a long ass time ago.
Jack was sneaking Mickeys in for sure.
That's right.
How is Jack? Because he was off on a week of schnee and liquor, wasn't he?
I'm alive.
He is alive. Verified. I was worried he wasn't coming in. He was talking about closed airports at 1 a.m. I'm like, is this guy getting home? We need him.
You were at an airport at 1 a.m.?
Yeah, I was in Vancouver.
He got us in another airport at 2 a.m.
Another side note of what I've learned over the last couple of weeks. Flying into Saskatoon is the worst thing you could ever attempt.
It used to be good.
No,
what happened?
There's one airline that does it, and it ain't cheap, and
we got the monopoly going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your options are limited. The kids actually had fun with it because we thought about flying. And so we punched it in and we got the number, and it was $1,000 per person.
That's a short flight for a GER. You could get to Tokyo for a GER.
And that's what we said. I said, boys, pick another city. And it was $1,200 to go to Tokyo. One of them picked Paris. Yeah, it was amazing. Very similar.
Retro, we booked with that in mind. Now, granted, we booked flights for a trip in December. Just saw the seat sale. It's like, well, let's just book it. There's 4 of us flying return for under $2,000 to Hawaii.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You can't go to Winnipeg. You can barely, like Vancouver. But of course, our flights will be canceled, disrupted, delayed, and we'll end up in Trinidad and Tobago and the Czech Republic.
I'm okay with that. Prague, great spot. You'd love it.
So
it might be bad for the gout, but you'll be okay.
Want to salute a Calgary, I don't know what to say icon, but everybody knows about Nick's Restaurant. Steakhouse and pizza over by McMahon Stadium. Nick Petros founded it in 1976. Nick passed away. The community, Nick's, they've been given back so much over the years through the way of charity and sport and all of that. So a lot of people sending out condolences to the family and the kids. That has been it. What I love about Nick's, and it hasn't changed a whole lot. You walk through those doors and it's a time machine. You're going back in time. And it just has, I love the lights with the kind of the yellow stained glass, everything, just the whole ambiance in there is very old school. So condolences going out to.
If you never lived in the 70s, you can still live in the 70s by going in there. It is quite something.
I remember eating there when I was playing for the Saskatoon Blazers at the Max Midget AAA.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't know what I ordered, but it was delicious.
That's a good little Stamps are up by 3 touchdowns or down by 3 touchdowns. Let's just head over there after 3 quarters take place.
Yeah. Damn right.
Never boring after the red and white play there.
Yeah. We'll get to We'll do some McLeod Law this day in Flames history, but I got one other thing to show you. Now, I don't know if because I've got the autofocus on my camera, and I know I tried to do something like this before, and it didn't work out. Retro, prepare to be jealous.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you're going to be able to read this.
Is this a new spice? We'll get a little closer.
Zoom that in. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan steak seasoning. And put that one a little closer.
Blackened Saskatchewan.
Blackened. There you are. Yeah.
Now, where are we getting these bad
Blackened
boys?
Saskatchewan. Wow.
Hey! Retro's talked about it a number of times.
That's not the one I've got, but it is awesome. Traeger was the one I had. What's that one?
Well, this apparently is you talk about legendary, kind of a legendary spot in Regina. JB Sausage. JBsausage.ca. Mama went in there. She was going back home for a quick trip.
Stopped in there.
So she got talked into the blackened spice and then some
Not
barbecue
sauce you're gonna love it.
and
Dude,
stuff. So
put some of that blackened spice on some chicken thighs.
Yeah. You want some? I'll pour some into a little container for you if you want.
Well, or just cook for me and I'll come over.
Yeah, just come on over. Come on over.
See
So there you go. I mean, we got a lot going on. Toilets and steak spice and gout.
Living it up. Dino.
Why would I leave the house? Where do I need to go? It's a friggin' carnival over here. It's a party. Where'd Pinder go? Is he dying? Oh.
Thinking he was an emergency. He sprinted as soon as it went to one can.
Yeah. So like now that he's not here, how does he handle that much family?
That's what I was getting at. I wasn't concerned about
how do they handle him, I guess is probably the other
That's
thing.
just as important because like I said, if I go to my place up north, it's 2 nights and then everyone's a little growly and a little owly and you can just sense that just underneath the surface everyone's trying to do their best, but it's not enjoyable anymore.
Yeah.
With him stirring, you'd have to drink is really what would happen.
But then he drinks and he gets worse when he drinks.
It's true.
Like, there again, you got to be the pace car. You got to be out in front of it somehow.
Get out on the boat and leave him on the beach.
God. And you'd be looking at the forecast like, please don't let it rain, because then we're stuck inside and there's no.
Yeah, I can't do card games with him because can you imagine how competitive he would be? Like,
yeah,
any slip up, he'd be all over you, all over you.
Yeah, it'd be the worst. But
family.
I suppose you do what
Nobody
you do.
likes him anyway.
So what's happening for the remainder of summer?
I'm going to go to Kukanusa. It's my brother's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, Trev. Today?
Tomorrow.
Happy
August 2nd. What a day. What a day.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go down there. And then I got family coming out here. So I didn't drive over there. So I got family coming out here on Thursday for a couple days. There's a rodeo on Friday I was thinking about attending. Or there's a Cavs game. Yeah.
Stamps play as well on Friday. It's busy.
And what are the Surge doing?
Surge won the West, and they will be hosting a playoff game on Sunday. They don't know who their opponent is yet. It'll be the winner of Edmonton against Winnipeg. They had a nice little run to the end of the year to wrap up top spot in a home playoff game.
Well, didn't I see they sold out their last game?
It was the last Wednesday I was not at. I was at the 2 prior, and they were nearly full. And, I think they were playing – that game. A win would solidify either at least a playing game or the home playoff Western championship game. So really an impressive run here for the fellas.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if that's accurate, but I thought I saw online that this thing was sold out. It was a big fat crowd out at WinSport for that one. So
and real good. If you want, we got a little video of the Surge with Serge. Because I took Serge Tower to the Surge. Been trying for a while. You got a bunch of extra seats, bought a bunch of the staff. They brought some stamps, some pals, Trey Roberson, his kid, who did a great job as the junior reporter for the Stamps on their Family Day week. He was there as well, and the fellas are impressed. We saw some pretty impressive like windmill dunks, and we'll see how it goes. This is Serge at the Surge.
We got Serge
and the Surge, with a Surge, and the Surge, the Surge. Go, Surge, go! Go, Surge, go! Go, Surge, go! All right, halftime Surge report. First Surge game for Serge. What are we thinking?
I'm loving it, man. Courtside at the table with Pinder.
We got some chicken fingers, we got a beer, and we got a 5-point deficit. They're dancing, Serge. We got a big win. We got a 1-0, Serge in the Surge. You can never stop coming, ever. Got to keep going. They're perfect with Serge. And there was a lot of yelling at Serge.
Yeah. Think of the fun he'd have had if you weren't there.
I know. It was pretty good because we had another table next to us that he loaded up with his buddies, so he could escape the Pinder.
Hey, Serge, how was the game? Oh, it was great. It was a tight game right down to the end. We had awesome seats, Pinder. But it was great.
Ringing.
Yeah. Other than that, it was great. And you're very happy with the connection of Serge and Serge.
Oh.
He saw the jersey. He's like, what? I have to buy one of these because there's the logo. And then there's the Surge. Yeah. And then he was getting hats. And then he bought a jersey for Trey's kid. He was jacked up. He was very excited.
Credit to you, because I'm not sure most people would have made that connection. That Serge and Serge. That's why we're in this business.
Are they spelled the same?
No, he's an E and the team's a U.
Yeah.
Yeah. But good vibes out there. I'm telling you. Yeah. 3,000. They ram it. Lots of action. Short game, 2 hours in and out. 10-minute course. Let's go.
You can smile and cheer and have fun.
And the table with the service right to the table.
Okay.
Honey, you'll be driving tonight.
Settle down, Pinder. When is that not the case?
Well, when I went with Serge, I had to drive, so I was very well behaved. But when I went with my wife, that's DD.
Well, that's what I mean. When you're with your wife, when you guys are out, when is it not? Hey, honey.
Very rarely. It would have to be like a her work event type thing or something where I would have the wheel. I would say it's a 90-10 split for sure. You're not.
That seems fair. Yeah.
Everyone has their preferences. If
she gets to go out, not have drinks, and you get hammered.
She doesn't want to drink, and I do. It's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
Let's do this day in Flames history for our friends, our buddies over at McLeod Law. Now, Peter Klein at McLeod Law, he's the personal injury guy. We all know this. But did you know he's also the go-to guy in Calgary for your disability insurance claim? He's you know what? He's a bad man. You want him on your side. If you're getting, if there's a bit of a hassle going on and, the people that they think they're going to try and bully you and push you around, when they see you've got Peter Klein, they're like, oh, gosh, this is not good for us. If your long-term disability insurance company is refusing to pay insurance benefits to you, contact Peter. Get him on your side. He'll get you the disability benefits that you paid for and that you deserve. It's that peace of mind that you have earned that belongs to you that Peter Klein will get back for you. Great firm, Calgary born, Calgary bred. Their roots run deep in our city, and they want to make that positive impact on the city of Calgary. McLeod-law.com, whatever legal assistance you may need, but of course, as we say, Peter Klein, personal injury, disability insurance, that sort of thing. There's only one place to go, and that's McLeod Law. Now, you would think
someone's messing about?
What?
Is it chicanery or tomfoolery?
Yeah, if there's a bit of
what have you.
If there's some shenanigans afoot, then you need to get a hold of Peter Klein. So now, on this day, it is the 1st of August. Celebrate, everybody.
What's going on?
What possible? It's kind of a weird day. This date, 2000, the Calgary Flames hired a head coach who, depending on what you like, has the shortest reign as a Calgary head coach. Hired and fired in a very short span. Now, if you thought it was Al McNeil, because remember Chopper, Al McNeil came in.
That's what I was going to say, but that was during the year.
That was during the year, kind of an interim thing. He was behind the bench for 11 games before Daryl Sutter came in the first iteration. But
And then
remember,
the second
he was also,
Daryl, we had Huska for 2 games as well. And that's because Daryl had to go through the protocols to get in the bubble. Another interim instance.
yeah, so interim for Huska. And Al McNeil actually was the head coach of the team when it moved from Atlanta. So all together, there's 171 games as the Flames head coach, the Calgary Flames head coach. You mentioned interim basis for Huska. Guy Chiron took over coaching duties in 92 after Doug Risebrough was fired, and that was the final 16 games of that season. But as far as a guy who was hired to be the head coach and then fired, 68 games for Don Hay, who was hired August 1st in 2000.
68.
He replaced
the full year.
Replaced Brian Sutter, who was fired at the end of the 99-2000 season. Hay had been an assistant for the Flames during the 95-96 season. Did coach in Phoenix for 1 year. They moved on from Hay after 1 year there. Comes to Calgary, of course, a junior hockey legend. 68 games. The team went 23, 28, and 13 before
Which
they
isn't
said
bad with the
that's-
squad they had, to be quite honest.
I was going to say.
It's not the best of times, if you recall in those days.
Jerome
So Hay
Manoli
was
and
fired
Lima.
and then replaced by Greg Gilbert to finish that year. And we know kind of how it went from that Gilbert.
Big
and then
upgrade.
that sort of thing.
Big
So,
upgrade.
it's interesting.
Big upgrade. Gilbert taking over.
Oh,
Hay.
huge
Yeah,
step
that
up.
was-
Yeah, big step up.
There's
remember
some
at the
big
time-
ups to Greg.
It just felt like this was the natural progression. That Don Hay had so much success. Now, some pretty good teams retro in Kamloops.
He might have been blessed with some talent in Kamloops. Yep.
Oh,
Might have been.
to Vancouver too, though. He won almost everywhere he went. He was a great junior coach. I just don't know that necessarily means you're a great coach of the men's ranks. And to be fair, like he didn't have a great squad here for 68 games. I felt the same way about Dave King. I always thought like this is a guy that's a phenomenal teacher of the game, but maybe didn't have that same level of success when he got out of the national programs and junior ranks and had to coach millionaires in their mid-20s.
You do have to coach differently.
Yeah.
What would be the main difference? Is it? It's just it's
Well,
kind
I
of
think that you don't. It's not a short, like Dave King is coaching teams for shorter periods of time. I think for tournament play, so you can spend hours going through video, right? Because they don't have a day-to-day grind.
Yeah.
Junior kids are young and stupid, and you can just tell them this is
You're dangling an NHL
Yeah.
career, they'll listen.
yeah. Whereas pro guys, they're going to have their own opinion on things, and it's getting to be more so.
Big time.
So
now. I
Right
guess
or wrong, it's the players are getting a lot of leverage, right?
yes.
Now, Jeff Ward, he falls into this category, I guess, as well. I kind of looked past because there was the interim thing, and then he was hired, and then they kind of moved on. So maybe in fairness to Don Hay, we should throw Jeff Ward into this mix.
Well, and it was a shortened season too that Daryl came into, right? Wasn't that the 56 gamer? So he
So are you saying you screwed up your stats, Dean?
It's possible I screwed up because he took over
math man.
for,
And how did you catch it?
for Bill Peters.
told you?
Someone tweet? Someone answered?
No, I just-
someone replied. Well, he would have had the second half.
That was early, and it was what, like
It was
November?
November because
Yeah.
I was in Buffalo
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
I think the team
It was
around
42 games
Pittsburgh.
in the
played
1920 season. So 42 as he took over there, and there was the COVID and everything.
Then COVID hit. Yeah.
That's right.
And then, because he was, right? He was hired as the head coach.
Yep.
I think once that first season ended, they officially did that, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Because
Was he interim for the
I would assume so.
the rest of the season
Yeah.
after Peters got canned?
I
Yeah.
think so.
A lot of
And then-
technicalities. We need Peter Klein. He would know.
He would definitely
20,
be able
that's
to
right.
work with
2021. Team went 11, 11, and 2. 24 games.
a lot of games.
See ya.
Not a lot.
That was great. And what is the streak that isn't it the
8 in a
longest
row out of the
winning
gate?
streak? Yeah, like for Jeff Ward, not really regarded as a Flames great head coach, but the team did go on a hell of a run for him.
It was right after the Peters incident, and they just went on a heater. I think it was 8 games in a row or something like that.
I say it's
7.
No.
Conroy. Conroy
Yeah.
was on the bench. It's all Connie.
Was Connie on the bench there?
Is that what
Came down for that? Wow.
Well, and remember they started playing music during practice too, right?
I was
Guys are
actually going to bring
playing
it up.
between
He did try to do some different
That
stuff.
was
It
Gully, wasn't it? Or was that
no,
Peters?
that was
Or,
Wardo.
sorry, Wardo.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wardo brought it.
There was some bad
He would just
mixes
tried
there.
to make it. They were a very tight team, and he knew it, and he tried to let him relax a little bit. Worked for a while. Worked
It's
for a
like,
while.
you'd have Avicii into ABBA into like
Yeah.
AC/DC. I don't know. I don't know if there are many future DJs on that roster.
Anyway.
So Bill Peters comes in, scandal. Jeff Ward, COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a
Looking back, quite a stretch. Quite a stretch.
I was thinking, like, when Johnny left, how many coaches had he had? Because I
Well-
think he would have started with Bob, and then you go Bob to Glenn, Glenn to Bill, Bill to Jeff, Jeff
Jeff
to
every other year. I believe.
Daryl, and then
Jeff
if
to
he
Daryl.
signed again, he'd be on his 6th coach. Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
That's
not like
usually a
Edmonton.
sign of things not going well.
Totally, yeah, and it's I understand that it's the easiest thing to change, but it's also like the more you turn over those positions, the harder it is to have continuity, right?
It's
But
a
not
lot
now
of
because
coaches.
they got the Kamloops connection
There you
going.
go.
Huska, Ginla. Kidding me?
Huskegee.
right.
If only you'd been.
They
that,
know how to win.
Western Conference.
Those
Northeast,
guys know
right?
how to win. Bastards.
Well, hey, if Kamloops maybe had a higher pick, they could have got Red Warner.
Wasted opportunity.
When were you drafted?
5th.
Yep.
That's a high pick.
I was highly touted.
You were very highly touted. Now, what were you? Were you set? What was in the Bantam draft? Weren't you second or something? Weren't you a high
No, I was
Bantam?
5th in the Bantam draft.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay, yeah.
5th in the Bantam draft. Dominated first year junior. Just
Dominating.
crushing guys.
Yeah.
Then he got
Then
fat.
what? Injuries?
Fat camp. Yeah.
Fat camp. Lack of conditioning. I
Gravy.
didn't realize putting on weight was supposed to be muscle weight. Big was good then. Big was good back then. You wanna
Warner
be
has really bulked up over the offseason.
big. Yeah.
You know,
He's turning heads. Yeah.
we look at this Warner kid. He's gonna add some size to that frame.
No, they said before I got drafted, they said weight put on during the off season is not. I forget how they worded it quite nicely. Like they didn't call me a fat bastard, but they
Right.
said the weight he put on was not hadn't helped the game at all.
Wow, that's too bad.
Yeah, I bulked up.
Lazy.
Little
Little
bit lazy,
unfit.
little bit unfit.
Man, if I'd have just had someone get in my ear that I could have believed.
Who the hell would you be listening to at that point? And
No
who
one.
wasn't telling you to stop eating the third order of 20
I don't
nuggets?
know, because even my assistant coach in Buffalo, I still remember being hungover at warm up. And he was yelling at because everyone was laughing at me because I couldn't skate hardly. And he's like, "Leave him alone. He's our only old school player left." And I'm
That's
like,
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
terrible.
Playing guilty.
Terrible.
Playing
Come on,
guilty.
Donnie Lever,
Wha-
sit me down and get me straightened out.
Well, how many games was it? 770, something like that?
7-Eleven,
711.
something like that.
How many of those hung over? 300?
I didn't. Well, a couple.
Did we get into triple
I
digits?
had
There's no way you were less than 100. What, 15 seasons? Parts of 10, 12
14
seasons?
seasons.
So that's if you go
10 a game. 10
if
a
you go
year?
70 year hungover, that's pretty much you're there.
I was hurt a lot though, so
The damn liver held you out.
it wasn't odd. And I still tell it. My first game was an afternoon game against the Stanley Cup champion Jersey.
Yeah.
A noon game. The day before, the whole effing team was sitting in some stupid TGI Fridays drinking margaritas all like those guys were out all night. I left at like 10. I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to play in the NHL tomorrow. I should probably try to get to bed.
You got over that phase pretty quick though.
You wonder how often that happens now.
Nah.
Not much.
And not to say that that's a bad thing necessarily, but just
Well,
with
it is a bad thing. What do you mean?
with so
Well,
much
which end of
emphasis
it? I could see both sides. You want to bond,
Guys
go
are
out and drink. You want to be not hungover, don't go out and drink. You could spin it either way.
Yeah.
on
Don't
sleeping
play
in
hungover. Drink less.
oxygen tubes and all kinds of shit.
Well, I'll say this: the guys know what their green light nights are now. Not that they didn't before, but you've got those 5 mandated off days a month, and the boys go get at it in those windows appropriately. But I would think there's less. It's a random Wednesday in Raleigh and you're hungover than there would have been.
Columbus.
I remember Jeff Glass, good pal of the show, who was in the KHL forever, finally got to the NHL age like 33. And he was like, I don't know what's going on here. We're on the road and the guys are asking for extra monitors at the hotel. They're having like LAN parties, playing video games. Like, what the hell happened since I left North America? Like, are we going out? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
You guys playing like Minecraft together? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Different kids.
I used to get mad at the guys that wouldn't go out to get to the hotel and get in their room and lock the
Fluff
door.
up the pillow.
But then I realized those were the guys with the young children.
Yeah.
So there was no sleep at home.
Right.
Right. It didn't cross my mind that kids might have an impact on you.
Especially young kids, like you said. Yeah.
You would think that it's changed, but there would still have to be that emphasis that if the team's going out, we're all going. Right?
The other thing now is everyone's got a phone
completely opposite
with a camera on it. I think going out is a lot harder now than it was for these guys that are public figures. And maybe on the road in certain markets, it's easier. But I mean, I don't think Connor McDavid's going out to the bar without people snapping photos of him, no matter what market he's in. And that makes it like, okay, now we're going to have to get a little more, like selective, organized and selective with how we're going to be together. You can't just go to the pub and it's like, oh yeah, some hockey players are there. Prove it. How am I supposed to prove it? Guy signed my bra.
Even photos. I'm thinking more because you hear every once in a while. So there's a team dinner where they've got a room booked or whatever. We're going out. And there's a couple guys like, no, I'm just going to grab some Chipotle and go back to the hotel. So,
I'm not sold on Chipotle.
Bad form.
It's good, but I just
10 years ago I loved it. I don't know what's happened since then. The ratings have dropped.
It fills you up.
The other thing too is like it's less of of what your coach in Buffalo said. Like the old school, the way you approached it, that was how most of the NHL operated for decades and decades and decades. And now these guys have like strength coaches, mental coaches, dietitians, chefs, all when they're like 10, 11, 12. Never mind when they're 16, 17. They got agents, while they're preteens. You see yourself as a contractor at such a young age before you ever would have conceived it. You would have been in the league before you had a lot of these things these guys have as 12-year-olds.
And you were ostracized if you didn't join in.
Right.
Like I said to my buddy Chad Allen and Wilm when they went back to junior the year I made pro. And I said, I think one of the big differences was that the year before, I wasn't going to make it the year before, but I did that. I went back to my room and hid in my room and went to the rink and then straight back to the room. And the next year I'm like, I better try and be part of this.
Yeah.
So everywhere I just latched on to guys. And I mean, you're not leading the way, but you're following and you're part of it. And it mattered back then. Can you fit in with the group?
Yep.
Now the group doesn't judge. There's no, everyone has to fit in still, but you aren't forced into doing it one way or the other.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I remember the Oilers were on a massive tailspin like a decade ago, and Commie hopped on Twitter and was like, these guys need a mandatory rager in Montreal on an off day. They've lost 8 in a row. That's the only cure for them right now. And that sort of mindset was just sort of leaving about a decade ago. And I think it's pretty much gone at this point. But that was sort of the idea, right? Like, who were your captains when you arrived in Florida?
Brian Skrudland.
So it's like, if you want to be on that team, you best get in under the wing of Brian and be one of the fellas.
Yeah.
So how long between for you in Florida, the emphasis of, I got to watch myself. I just need to fit in. I just want to, fly under the radar and fit in, and smushing a bowl of dip into John Van Beesbrook's wife's hair.
A few weeks.
Just a couple weeks later, yeah.
Yeah, it was very early.
Fitting in.
It was October.
It's a quick learner.
It was Skrudland's fault. He overserved me.
This Warner guy, I mean, he's really part of the group.
I was told the story. The funniest part is that Jovo and I were driving to that party and talking about how serious we were going to take it.
Yes, no. Best
behavior. Indiana, we're going to we got to kick some ass. We got to be disciplined. Breaking things, falling over, act like an ass. Ugh.
Sounds about right.
How did you get home?
I don't know.
Don't say drive.
Remember that?
I didn't drive. I remember because I remember stumbling. I broke Jovanovski's sprinkler system, and there's
Oh my God.
water everywhere.
How do you break a sprinkler system?
I
What are
think
you
it was
doing?
spraying, and I kicked it, and it broke, and there's shit everywhere.
You talk
It's
about a
rare.
time machine. If I could go back to see like an 18-year-old Rhett Warner, what a dope you had to have been.
Well, and he's just begging people to call him over and talk to him. He wasn't listening to anyone back then, especially if the captain was saying, let's go get hammered.
Wow,
Like,
I
come on,
listened to
that's
the
all you need to
captain.
hear.
Let's go.
So how different is your kid, your oldest, at what, 15, 14, 15, and what you were at 15?
I don't know. Do you remember what you were like at 15? I mean, I don't
Stupid.
know.
To think
Yeah,
about.
stupid loser.
Like,
Yeah,
clearly dumb.
Louder,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a dad that has a clue, though. My old man didn't know about, like,
No,
Yeah.
of course.
but
not,
nobody
yeah.
did, right? Like, you didn't know.
Well, and your kid's growing up in a city of well over 1 million people. You grew up in Frontier.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty different, too. And if the big city to you is Saskatoon, what does your kid think when you wheel into Saskatoon?
Were you still in Frontier at 15, or had you moved in already?
He would have been Saskatoon, but yeah.
No, 10. Around 9, I moved
Yeah.
to Saskatoon.
But that would have been the big city, right? That's you go
Oh.
from Calgary to Saskatoon. You're like, how many people live here? Do they have anything interesting?
Frontier, we used to go to Swift Current,
There
and it
you
was
go.
like, oh, they've got a McDonald's here.
Oh,
my
baby.
God. Big
That's
time.
right. Clown food. Big
That
D.
camp vibes.
Big deal. Big day. That'll do it for congrats to McLeod Law for being a part of that. Whether your challenge is business or personal, they're in it with you. Professionals with a common goal, and that's helping you, their clients, meet their goals. McLeod-law.com. Little treat coming up. Little treat.
Treat.
Put together a little something for you boys. But right now it's time for the Pinder report. Are you ready for the Pinder report? I can't imagine what we've got here today. But
You read the thing and then get ready to have your frickin' socks blown off because we had a little nugget drop almost 2 weeks ago that I think you've forgotten about.
Village Honda, get a trip voucher for 2 to Las Vegas when you sell Village Honda your car. All makes, all models. Appraisals are complimentary, no obligation. Make money today by selling your vehicle to Village Honda and saving yourself the hassle of private sales. You don't want to do that. And a trip for 2 to Vegas? Come on. Only makes sense.
Vegas.
It's Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. Village Honda brings you the Pinder report. Grab
Get you
your
get to
socks.
Vegas real cheap these days. Sell your car, take the money, go to Vegas, put it all in
Do it.
black. Huh? Who are we walking through at the lobby? You're like, everyone pull it at 20. We're putting it all in black. One spin red. Okay, where are we going now? 3 of us.
I'm hungry. Yeah.
Okay, let's eat. Where's the in and out? All right, fellas. It was sadly just at the end of last week when we received this unprompted. You had asked, opined, and questioned aloud over the show, Dean, where is Aussie Brad? The answer, in the man cave. Here's Aussie Brad.
Boom, boom, Pender, fucking retro. Get that fucking nephew down here. I'll put the cunt to work. We'll make sure we're fucking getting him the full experience down here in fucking Australia. Working your little candy ass off, getting after it at night, drinking piss with the boys. How fucking good. Now listen here. Mika Kuprasa fucking gun. The best fucking bloke you could ever see. Now, I saw him out one night, fucking 16th, 14th Ave, whatever the fuck it was, Melrose. He was fucking slaughtered. Crunching nails, on the walker, loving life. Good on you, Kipper. Fuck, I might even come back over there for that fucking night. It'll be a fucking beauty. Other than that, cunts, you gotta get down here. The man cave's fucking up and about. The bar's ready for you blokes. The fucking signs are on. You fucking piece of punch in the boom.
Look at this.
I don't
guy,
know.
eh?
I don't know that I've ever enjoyed anyone without having met them. Like it's like Chris
Yes,
Farley,
I've
Jim
never been
Carrey
more-
levels. Like it's like this
Never
guy's
been
the
more
best.
proud of a stranger.
Was he calling smokes like punching nails or something? What was that? That was unbelievable.
For those now, is there any perspective if people weren't on board at the very start of this show? Aussie Brad is he was a guy that's followed the show and then he sent in a video and now he's part of the show.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like anytime we get Big Flames news, and that was Mika's number being retired is what prompted him there because we had that news 2 weeks ago, and Aussie Brad never fails. I'm almost like I almost don't want to meet him. Just to, like, how could he live up to such a high bar?
Yeah.
But then maybe he's even better in person. I don't know.
No,
but he's saying
they say
your nephew's going over.
Sending him over.
Yeah. Don't meet your heroes. Bullshit. I'll meet that guy. Well, yeah, didn't it start right off the start because you were firing out C-bombs when we started this thing?
Yes,
That's
what
what it was.
That's what it was.
Do you know, had the swearing because we can segment, which lasted only a few weeks. I dropped a C-bomb, a C-sharp, and Boom was like, you can't say that. I said, well, come on now. Some countries, this is very, very normal language, and other ones are much stronger. And you're like, that is nonsense. And to my defense, Aussie Brad stepped up and brought us that first C-bomb-laden rant.
It doesn't seem like a major issue in Australia.
Yeah, when he does it, it just feels okay. Well, it's Aussie Brad. When you did it, it was red flags.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
Next,
Aussie
Thanks,
Brad. God love him.
You still got the logo for him at the beginning too. Nice work, RJ.
I like it. Yeah.
We're good. Okay, well, that's our Flames content. Aussie Brad for the last 2 weeks. That's all that's happened in Flamesland. We'll move to some other local sports. Man, the Stamps have been having a tough go this year, fellas. 2-5. I am not an analyst of the CFL. No one can answer this question. What are the Stamps good at?
Dave, call us.
Dave, call us.
We'll get you sorted.
And
just call us. We'll walk through it. Remember a couple years ago, I had to help him out.
You did,
right?
Mm-hmm. He's down in the dumps.
Yeah.
We'll have to find one of their 4 bye weeks and
3
and get him on. Because right about now, he'd be practice, right? It's very busy time. It's not the best timing for him.
Well, they got Toronto on Friday, and Toronto has been real good. Shout out Corey Mace, friend of the show. But yeah, like they're it's not like things are getting easier here. Like you got maybe the best team in the league coming in on Friday. You have one? You haven't won at home yet this year? Is that right?
Well, the thing is, I don't think that Dave's taking it lightly.
No,
I got a feeling that Dave's putting in full effort.
If there's a guy that'll take it too hardly, it might be Dave.
Do you think he's on the hot seat? Is it possible he's on the hot seat?
Great dude.
I don't know who's going to come into that seat and be better than him. Quarterback, what do you make? I know it was a big decision. We sat down with Bo Levi moments before his rights were traded to Hamilton last year. Maybe it was day of, like in the fall, right when we launched this show. And it was like, okay, Jake Maritime, what do we know about this guy? Here's Danny Austin live from the 55. The numbers have not been sparkling. That touchdown to int ratio, no good, Dino.
24 of 44, 256 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I think there is more going on with this team than Jake Mayer's performance. Jake Mayer himself said after the game against Ottawa, there are too many turnovers, too many interceptions.
And turnovers was the exact thing that got him this one, and not being able to punch the ball in the end zone. It was a pick six the other way. How many times are you going to win games when you're giving up pick sixes? You can't give up pick sixes. It's just, and especially early. And it was the whole difference of the entire game was they were always, Montreal Alouettes were always up a touchdown because of the pick six. So that bagel in the touchdown column and the 2 in the interception column, that's the entire story right there.
How about that? Our boy Busby.
Ian Busby, long time,
dweller.
Long time Stamps beat reporter for the Calgary Sun. Danny Austin doing it for the Sun and the Herald. If you haven't seen, that's one of the shows on the network, live from the 55. Danny does an awesome job with it. So the thing I like about it, when you're in the newspaper, you got to kind of, can't be too opinionated. I got to have a little bit of opinion here and there. Not on live on the 55. They let her buck.
Those two guys know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever caught it because we always did it in the 9 o'clock hour. For those not with us at the old job, the three of us
mail it in
3 hours. 9 o'clock hour, I would load up with other guests, other things. Grey Cup week, we would always call Busby and wake him up extremely hungover from Grey Cup week partying. And he's there every single year. And some years he would pick up, some years he wouldn't. Phenomenal stuff, like still cut at 7 a.m. on the one of my favorite, proudest broadcasting moments, getting him on from the Grey Cup every week. Yeah. What Busby?
Buzzy. Attaboy.
Buzzy. Stamps, as we told you, 2-5, host Toronto on Friday. That's not a team you want to see right now. They've been thumping opponents. Calgary FC, meanwhile, they've had a tough time in Ottawa. They dropped another one against Atletico, 1-0. But the good news is it was a really solid run before that loss. They were top of the table before that, now dropped into a crowded table. Look at this. You got 6 teams separated by 6 points. Are you kidding me? Pacific, Forge, Cavalry, Wanderers, Atletico, and I think that's Valor down there. I'm not really sure. It's York.
They're right there, though, eh?
They're right there. And here's the thing. They're playing Forge on Friday night, 7 o'clock, who's sitting second. Winner of that game, I mean, probably a great shot at being in first place at the end of the week. Love to see that. And it's competitive at the top. Tommy's feeling good about the club.
Was that were you throwing to a clip or was?
No. Sorry.
Okay, it sounded like you were throwing to a clip there. I didn't want to flap my gums.
Hindsight, yeah.
I don't think they're using enough headers. Got to doing more headers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Set pieces.
Too much with the feet. Start using their heads a little bit more. Top of the table.
All right.
Instant analysis.
See what happens. And figure this one out. Friday is family day game, but also date night. So careful who you're flirting with in the beer line.
You're going to realize that I don't want any of these effing kids.
Free birth control. Look at all the kids. Don't want that. But also careful who you're flirting with online. Check that ring finger.
It's true.
Yeah. Careful.
So you need a ticket for your chick and your chick.
Oh, dear.
Also,
bad idea.
We ran ticket contests last week. Proud to announce winners of our 2 pairs of tickets. Ryan McKenna and T. Shaber. We're going to the Calgary game on Friday, courtesy of the Cavs, and the contest we ran on FlamesNation social media. So get all fired up. We'll see if I can get
congrats, T.
Serge, finishing the season strong. Remember, hot out of the gate, then cooled off in the middle. Finished strong. The Calgary Surge are your Western champs of the regular season, and they will host a playoff game this Sunday. They will face the winner of Edmonton and Winnipeg. We don't know who that is yet. Either way, should be rocking at WinSports Sunday at 7, Rhett. 7 p.m.
Let's do it.
Longer days. Only a couple hours, Dean.
Road open all the way up there, or do I have to go Serge?
No, you're good. Still? You're definitely. Oh, the ring road's not done yet.
No, you got to turkey trail it a little bit, though.
Next season, Rhett. They'll be ready for you next season.
Sarcy, you'll love Sarcy.
Hate Sarcy.
You don't like Sarcy?
That bow trail right there backs up there.
Yeah, it does back up there.
Why didn't they build an overpass? Idiots.
So who's going? Who's in town? Who's going? You're not in town, Pender. You're off.
I'm not in town Sunday. Yeah. Well, playoff games. Go get it. Go get it, fellas. If you're going to go to a game, the atmosphere's not going to be better than that one. I'll tell you that right now if you haven't been.
Give me tickets.
I'm mildly intrigued.
Really?
You should go, Dean.
Dino, if you're in town, I will get you tickets.
What? I just asked for
I'm
tickets.
in town.
You said maybe.
Well, because he's been blowing me off all year on this. This is not my thing. I don't understand. Beginning of the year. Now he's finally issued out his playoffs.
Don't you the ring road? It's the ring road. No, I'm the only one that hasn't been. I saw sellout fat crowds all the time. I'm the only one that hasn't gone. So it's not. It's definitely not the product. It's me.
That's true. To baseball, today's a big day, fellas. Trade deadline day, and for the Toronto Blue Jays, things just got a little more complicated. Did you see this last night? I don't know, maybe their most important human that's employed by the entire organization.
That's a fair ball.
No problem here, right? Just a single.
Good hit. To Santander, Bichette, big turn, and he's pulled up. And something has happened to Bo Bichette between first and second as he is tagged out to end the inning. And this place has gone as silent as it can go.
That's an oof, and that's enough of that, Jerry. There, Jack.
Oddly enough, I hurt my right leg yesterday.
Is that going to affect the Jays' trade deadline efforts today or no?
Well, it's something to consider.
What happened? Were you pulling up around first?
I swam across the lake, and then I ran up the hill 5 times, and then I swam back. So I don't know if it was the running or the swimming or I don't know.
I had tropic events over there. Who are you impressed?
Fitness freak.
I had a nearly identical situation. This was years ago. I mean, I'm an old goat now. This was years ago. Slow pitch, round and first, and then you throw the brakes on, right? You're not going to.
Yep.
And it felt like 2 strips of fire zzz, zzz, from the knee to the hip on both quads. Just zzz, It was a son of a bitch. I won't lie to you.
How long did that take? Were you ready for the playoffs? Because the Jays need some good news here.
I haven't played since. That was about 95.
Poor Bo, left 400 million on the table.
Shitty news. Sorry, Bo. Yeah.
Here's how the fan base is reacting. Appropriately, measured, justly. Maybe kill the volume on this, but
that's right.
I love this.
We don't condone this behavior. No, don't do that.
This is such a good.
It's a good one.
I love that. Yeah. And it is trade deadline day. I believe 4 Mountain, 6 Eastern is the get your business done. And there's not that weird August.
I was going to ask, is
the
it
non-waiver
is there
deadline? They got rid of
really
that a couple of years ago, so this
deadline,
is the
or can
firm
they
one.
just make up another one.
No, you had the revocable waivers, and that was always like a backdoor trade deadline for teams that were good, but that's gone. This is it. That's all. And it sounds like the Jays are sniffing around second baseman, DeYoung in St. Louis, Anderson for the White Sox. I don't love them sniffing around middle infielders, but they probably could use a little insurance. You don't know what the timeline is for both.
You don't know till you know. What's that song?
And what's that's right. You don't know till you hold them. What's the Romano situation?
He's on the DL with his back locked up again. It was the All-Star game when that first happened. He came back, was just okay, not dominant, and then it's happened again. So they went out and got Jordan Hicks. He's the closer for the Cardinals, who's thrown more fastballs over 100 than anyone in baseball over the last 3 years. So they addressed that, but we'll see what they need to address with Bichette. And it's weird. This is a team that's second in pitching data and not great at hitting. We've watched this club for the last 4 or 5 years hit the cover off the ball. Where's the pitching? It's been backwards this year. They really haven't got that dynamic in offense.
the bat, boys. Come on.
Get Vladdy going. Springer's
sports.
ice cold.
Hey, sports. You just can't sports, eh? You can't figure it out.
Yeah. Wild stuff.
Crazy.
Verlander might be moving as well. He just signed that big deal with the Mets. Teoscar Hernandez is getting a lot of attention. Not a lot of bats out there. If you're looking for bats, might be pricey. Or Teoscar Hernandez, as our favorite broadcaster calls him.
That's right.
Very good. We'll move along to the nonsense category. It's been a week. We got a couple choice items. Now you have a cousin Steve, Red. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go check in with Steve. You guys played another prank on him. This guy.
Like him.
Oh boy.
Old
You're always pranking him. Not very nice.
Here we go. Steve making $6 right here. He's got to clear that sign. Clear that sign.
Touch it, brother. You ain't getting five.
Here we go.
There ain't no ifs, ands, buts,
$6.
$6, Steve.
Here we go.
Oh. I was worried about it.
So Steve tried to leapfrog.
Flip flops is what it was.
You can't be wearing flip flops trying to jump over that
I
sign.
told him to take the flips off.
Oh boy.
You know what? It
That's
was
right
more
in the danger
timing, right? Because I think he had
That
the
too.
elevation.
That's why I think it's flip flops, Steve.
Steve's an idiot.
He is.
That's
Yeah, he's look how early he's leaving his feet here.
Too soon.
it's not long jump, Steve. It's high jump.
On second thought, maybe he didn't have the elevation.
There was a narrow little window there,
Yeah.
and he landed on the bridge there. That didn't look comfy. $6 though.
The flip flops with the jeans and the dress shirt.
That's a look.
Yep.
That's a guy on a golf trip.
I was gonna say that's not how they line up for the 100-meter finals, is it? With the jeans and the
No.
button shirt with
How many
flip-flops?
How many deep do you think Steve was right there?
All day.
You know,
Oh,
six.
yeah,
all day.
Yeah.
That's a full shift.
Yeah.
$6 Steve is at least that many into the Coronas.
T's and P's.
Finally, T's and P's. This fellas, now I don't want your toe to see this, Dino, but we've been talking, flirting, Bologna Fest maybe one day, live our dreams out. Someone is beating us to it. Watch this. Watch this.
Bologna burnt ends. Got myself a whole bologna chub. Gonna slice it into steaks and then cut these guys into cubes. I'm gonna lather them with yellow mustard seasoning with my Tennessee smoked seasoning from Spiceology. And then we're gonna place it on the smoker at 250 to cook for about an hour to an hour and a half until it develops a beautiful outside color. Once it's looking good, pull it off and keep it warm. We're gonna start working on that honey gold barbecue sauce, adding some yellow mustard, honey, brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne, and salt. Let that simmer, and then once it's thickened, we're gonna pull it off, keep it warm, and serve up the smoked bologna burnt ends topping with that barbecue sauce. So freaking delicious. You can find this whole recipe.
Oh, look at that. Boys, bologna. Smoked bologna burnt ends.
Done.
I didn't know that was a thing. Makes it look easy when they do all that in 30 seconds. You're like, wow, I could whip that up real quick.
No problem.
All day.
Yeah.
If you like bologna, you could do.
That's
quick.
true. That's true.
It is just.
The sauce was impressive work, too.
I
Just
like
bang,
the
bang, bang,
sauce.
done. Like, wow, that looked easy.
Is it too
Dino, I'm
thick?
sorry. It's bad time for your toe.
I didn't know what he was going to do. I think those are big
Yeah.
chunks. I would have.
Those feel like.
Is it
Yeah,
two
I'm
biters?
not gonna. I can't judge. You need to taste it. But if anything, I wonder if that's just a little bit beyond bite size. If it's just a little too big in the slicing department.
Yeah, that's not a one biter, I don't think, right? That's the problem. You could go smaller and cook it shorter amount of time too. That might a little more work at the beginning, but pays off.
Man, that was a good looking
Bologna
chub
cooked.
though at the start, eh? Nice chub.
Well, and that color he's talking about, he smoked those perfectly. That's it. Bologna Fest. Their pin report for Village Honda.
Well, it's good you left that for the end because there's no beating that. You
That's
can't
what
beat bologna.
Well, $6
Don't beat
Steve, nut job, and they're ready to the bologna. So goat on top.
Pinder, I know you trying.
Bologna.
Yeah. Village Honda has a huge selection of used vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets, with over 70 units on site and access to over 400 more in their dealer group. Make Village Honda your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They are definitely worth the trip. Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. Village Honda. Good folks up there. Good folks up there. I got a treat for you guys. You know what? I don't know. You probably won't be very happy with it. You guys won't care. Some people might care.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you in a moment. Because it's going to put
You know what he's
to
got
work.
up his sleeve?
No, but I need him. Because I got to do what you just did. So.
Get yourself another cup of coffee?
Yep. I got to top up my cup.
Do you have to tinkle? Because now's the time to go.
No.
Why? Are we here for another hour?
No, I've got to read. And
It's
then
a dose,
we're going
not
to do
Nuno.
the thing.
Let's go.
Oh.
Yeah. He's going to be doing squats
Championship.
in the elongated bowl.
Kohler. Championship golf course, casino, spa, restaurants, mountains surrounding you in all directions. It is time to discover or rediscover the St. Eugene Golf Resort and Casino. I would bet by now we're into August that a lot of people, a lot of you guys, a lot of you people that are watching or listening, you've got some golf in.
Oh, yeah.
On some pretty subpar golf courses. Where the
that's
greens
tough.
are no good and it's
patch.
just some gross. Don't you deserve some mountain golf like St. Eugene? StEugene.ca is the website. On Instagram and Twitter at St. Eugene Resort. And get yourself booked in. And we've talked about this numerous times. Where it's located, just outside of Cranbrook, BC. Do you want to golf? If that's your thing, then you're set. Do you want to go have a nice meal? Maybe do some gambling? Go to the casino, have a night out? Done. Maybe you just want some privacy. Maybe a nice little spa treatment. Her massages. Done. It's whatever you want it to be. Whatever you want it to be. Beautiful place. Incomparable. St. Eugene Golf Resort and Casino. I'd get on it. Get some summer/late summer golf and relaxation in. StEugene.ca is the website.
It's the warmer side of the Rockies, Dean. They got that earlier start, later finish. Milder weather. Love it.
Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They'll be golfing weeks after we are in Calgary, and they start up sooner. It's not fair. Totally not fair. Just get out there.
It got me thinking about you got the bologna thing, and because we're gonna do this thing right now. You know what? We're gonna do it for Bonton Meats. Because remember when we started talking about bologna, how excited Greg got? He was gonna send platters of bologna sandwiches and stuff. So we had.
Yeah.
Be good this morning, Greg.
Do you think he sells it there? They wouldn't sell. Like, I wonder, is that an untapped market? The bologna market, big bologna. Big
bologna holding him down.
I wonder. Go and check it out. Bonton Meat Market opened its doors in
report your
1921. AAA Alberta beef, free-range poultry, grain-fed Alberta lamb, and the best in bologna, chubs, whatever it is that you need. 28 Crowfoot Circle Northwest, bontonmeatmarket.com. I've been texting Greg off and on here the last couple of weeks. What a good guy. What a good guy. And you know what? He
Missed
loves...
delegating the other day, but good to
I
chat
know.
with him. Tough one.
What are they, 0-3 at home? It's tough. Feel for Greg. But what we're going to do, because it's that time of year, little 20 questions for you. Little 20 questions for Greg and Bonton Meat. We're going to put Rhett versus Pinder. We're going to test you. It's a off-season, it's a summer edition of 20 questions where there is no winner. There are no correct answers, but yet there will be a winner by the time we are all said and done. And there's some bonus questions. Some bonus questions. I'm going to say they're worth double. They are worth double.
Oh, wow.
Times 2 right there. Question number 1. And I'm stealing this. I think it was one of the guys at Oilers Nation threw it on there. Which team will win a game at Commonwealth Stadium first, the Elks or the Oilers? Because the Oilers are playing the Flames there.
Elks are not
in October.
winning this year. Elks are not winning this year. I think the Oilers will do it. Hate to bet against their Flames, but it's.
I believe that Friday after Labor Day or that Saturday game, it happens. Stamps are having a rough go. I'm going to say Elks. And the Flames are going to be awesome. What are you guys talking about? You just think the Oilers are just going to win? Just come on now.
The Elks are bad. All right.
I mean, we're talking like 1,300 days.
Bad and they don't care. Dave Dickinson guys care at least.
What is it? They lost again to BC. In 2 games, they've scored 0 points against the Lions.
Oh my God. That is tough.
Like, you can kick the fucking football through the end zone and get a point, and they've been shut out twice in 8 quarters.
That's right. Very eloquently put.
Jesus Christ.
Here's their streak. 21 games losing at home in a row. That is the longest home losing streak in professional sport. The 1953 St. Louis Browns of the major leagues, 20 games in a row. The Mavericks in the NBA, 93-94, 19 games. The Penguins lost 14 in a row in 03-04.
And and the number for the Elks is
21 games and 1,300 days.
Well done, guys. Not easy to do. You could miss a field goal, put it through the end zone. Ah, shit, point.
Yep. Consolation point.
Question number 2. Where does Patrick Kane sign? He is a free agent. We know he's having his hip or whatever. Had it redone, is getting it redone, will not be ready for the start of the season, but at some point, the expectation is he'll be back on the ice. Where will Patrick Kane play?
Florida.
I think Patty Kane comes back closer to the trade deadline and picks himself a contender. So I'm going to say Carolina, a team that could use a little offense up front.
He doesn't want to live in Carolina.
He doesn't have to.
Big
2 months.
Guy. He's a Miami guy.
It's just a couple months.
Number 3.
And the Sabres will also be making a big push.
Well, I thought for sure, there was going to be a Sabres answer there.
Well, my answer to this would be the Sabres if
they're in.
And if
he's late,
if he's coming in late near the trade deadline, and the Sabres are in a playoff spot and look decent, then I do think
Buffalonian. Is that what we say?
Yes, indeed.
Buffalonian.
I wonder for Florida too, if they look, because when was it that they brought Claude Giroux in there? Right, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah. Deadline.
Didn't really have, a huge impact. I don't know.
He was good, but they lost to Tampa. They got swept in round 2, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Patty Kane, he's got jewelry. I wonder if Buffalo. And I'm not even being kind of silly. I wonder if that's
if they're in.
Look good. Yeah. It's a short window. They could probably pay him as much as anyone, and he doesn't. Yeah. It's not. It doesn't have to be a long-term deal, right?
It's just sign.
Want to go help your home team win a cup?
And
the thing is, I think. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That division is the toughest in hockey, but I think there's some serious question marks surrounding Boston now with Bergeron officially retiring. Krejci's not been re-signed. They're up against the cap. They only got less than $2 million after this Frederick signing that they made today. Is Boston the team that falls? Because I don't see Florida slipping. I don't see Toronto slipping. I still think Tampa's got the horses. Ottawa's improved. Detroit's improved. Montreal should be improved. Like, that's a tough division. But if it's a tough division and Buffalo's in it midseason, why not, Patty? Why not?
You might choose Toronto, too.
Ooh.
Don't say that. Well, no, that's just the only thing I was going to say there is for the Pagulas, you check a lot of boxes there. Curry in favor with your fans, making the team better, giving the players in the room a little bit of a
finally
boost.
Making the effing playoffs.
Yeah.
That would be something. How many years are we at there?
10.
Oh, boy. Decade of darkness.
Number 3. Do the Calgary Flames have a captain on opening night? And if so, who?
They said they would.
I'd say yes, because they said it's a yes.
There's a yes answer. Who?
That's a tougher question.
Not a clue. Just Tanev.
If you're going to make us pick, I'll say Rasmus. I mean, if you had an extension with Backlund, I think that's done, but you can't give it to a guy you're going to trade mid-season if he's not signed.
No.
And
Lindholm signs? Lindholm?
Please don't do that. Yeah, but yeah.
What do you mean, please don't do that? What if it's a hell of
the number that Lindholm wants?
Discount?
Well, yeah. Is that on the table?
Well, it will be regardless. He's not asking about the contract. He's asking about
and I just think if you want to build around a captain, you want someone that's going to be here and that isn't ancient and that's going to be playing good hockey. Rasmus checks all those boxes. I don't know that anyone else does. Uyghur.
Now, well, I was going to say, didn't Robert Munich at FlamesNation.ca write an article about that? He did throwing it out there that Uyghur. He feels Uyghur should be the guy. You can go read that, FlamesNation.ca. I don't know. I've said Rasmus Andersson for a while. He feels like the guy to me. But if it was Uyghur, I wouldn't be shocked either because it's a long-term deal. He's still young enough.
They're both wearing letters, that's for sure.
To your point, though, Retro, just giving the captaincy doesn't make a guy a captain. Is he a captain? Wait and see. Question number 4.
Oi.
Tabor corn, delicious or overrated?
Oh, boy.
It's delicious. But the thing is, it's not the corn, it's the butter and the salt.
I'm going to say everything that Rhett says, just copy him because I'm way out of my element here and I can't be losing points on a corn question. So everything Rhett said, I say as well.
You're above Tabor corn, eh?
Me? No, I don't know anything about corn. I don't even know. If I was doing the shopping, I'd know whether it's Tabor or somewhere else.
And you can't digest it.
No,
it comes out
right through you.
Yeah, when it comes out, it's like, hey, hi, how you doing? Holy shit, you look good. Yeah. Why?
Morning, Colonel.
Rough 12, 14 hours, but other than that, feel great. Have you ever had? You've never had Tabor corn, eh? Where does he go?
Oh,
Is
I
he
have
going
for
to
sure.
shit?
I definitely. Yeah, he's going to take a dump.
We're doing 20 questions.
You can't do 20 questions without Rhett. He's pinging and walking here, it looks like.
I told him to go.
Yeah, when you were doing the read. Give me your Tabor corn take since I don't have one.
So have you ever had it?
Of course I have, yes. Yeah. If you're asking me to compare and contrast, I wouldn't know where to begin or end.
No, it's
sometimes
just
you get corn, it's great. Sometimes you're like, this isn't that good. There's a bunch of dead ones in here.
Yeah, but you talk to people, it's like, oh, it's Tabor corn. And if you go, because you only buy it from the people that grow it or whatever it is, they need to have the little certificate up.
Tabor.
We qualify as an official Tabor corn Hoobie What's It. So
yeah, Hoobie What's It.
If you
I had
go
a
to buy
professor in
Tabor
university
corn,
yeah, go ahead.
And they don't have the certificate, you walk away.
Not Tabor. The professor in university used to say, like, oh, the Tabor must be good because it was in Lethbridge where I went to school. It's like, everyone loves Tabor corn. I got bad news for you, fellas. Guess how much topsoil there is in Tabor? And, of course, there's some fellas from that part of the province in the classes. Oh, we got about this much topsoil, whatever. And he said, well, you go down to Iowa, you got 12 feet of topsoil. Guess which corn tastes better? He was pretty mean about it. So
I bet. Yeah.
He was also invested, though. He was a Yank. He wasn't Canadian.
It's probably one of those things, too, because I think there's a place in BC. They've got the same sort of deal. I don't know what town. Oh, is that so? Tabor corn, is that like whatever corn? I don't know.
Like Kimberly corn?
Yeah.
In Nelson, the corn's not the corn. It just grows high enough that you can't see them growing weed beside it. That's where they grow corn in Nelson.
I do love corn. I could have a meal of just friggin' corn on the cobs.
You could probably do a couple of different phases. The way you could cook it, right? You could finish with popcorn at the end. Little caramel corn at the end. Yeah. Dessert.
And you
corn.
know what's the thing now? Caution for you corn eaters. A caution for you corn eaters. It's not if you're thinking, oh, it's the vegetable I'm going to have with the meal. Oh. It's carbs. That's your carb.
Not your starch?
It's not really. If you're thinking you're being healthy because you're eating corn and then dip it in butter and hammering salt all over it. Yeah. You need to take a hard look in the mirror. Good to have you back, Rhett.
Great to be here.
Got a Blue Jays trade just finalized.
Oh, yeah, hit me.
Paul DeJong headed to the Blue Jays. Infielder. This is the name we dropped in the Pinder report. With Bo going down yesterday, this is, insurance at a minimum and maybe a replacement at worst. Better than not getting a Paul DeJong, I guess.
Fucking Warner leaves during 20 questions and then is texting, let's go. How am I supposed to do 20 questions when you're not here yet? Do you not want to do 20 questions? Because we're on question 4.
Questions. Here's where
I'm going to, because I'll shelf it. I'll shelf it till next week or the week after.
I love 20 questions. Let's go. But that's the point.
If this is going to be if this is how dialed in you are, then I'm not doing it.
Oh.
Bonton Meats. Bonton Meat Market 28 Crowfoot Circle Northwest, BontonMeatMarket.com. Continue every year. Voted Calgary Consumer Choice Award winner for Best Deli Meat Market.
Best.
There
Every
you
year.
go. Betway Bets.
Nope. That was 4 questions brought to you by Bonton Meats.
Betway Bets. Betway. Good buddies back on board with Barn Burner. God love you, Betway. Get the app on your phone. Play along. Be responsible. If you're in Ontario, 19 or over. Betway. Bets of the day.
A little nervous today, Dino. You don't see this often, but Pinder's going to double against the Blue Jays bet. The Orioles are sensational at baseball. I am done denying they're good. They won me over midway through this season. Their bullpen is nasty. They got the best closer in baseball. They hit the cover off the ball all the way through the lineup. And Hyunjin Ryu returns to the Blue Jays rotation tonight. His first start since recovering from Tommy John. I'm taking the over for Baltimore runs. It's set at 4.5. That pays plus 110. And who's going to be winning after 5 innings? I'll take Baltimore as well. That's plus 120. I love me some Hyunjin Ryu. About 4 years ago, first start back off Tommy John against the AL East leading Orioles in that lineup. Little bit nervous, Dino.
Yeah. It's weird with Baltimore being good.
I thought
really
they
good.
were supposed to be
Unsettling.
horseshit.
Last year was kind of that. They poked their head up for a bit and couldn't sustain. And this year it's like, I'm sorry, that's the best bullpen in baseball. They got the best prospect pile. They'll go add someone today at the deadline. They don't have superstars in that lineup so much as very good hitters 1 through 9. And their catcher, Adley Rushman, who was picked 1 overall, I believe, he's hit leadoff catcher, and he's walking a shit ton. He's like 20, 21. Who has that kind of plate discipline at that age?
Yeah.
This team is big trouble for anyone that runs into them in the playoffs.
So tomorrow, Thursday, we are going to have, we've been rolling out the longer form interviews. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Seems like you are. A lot of great feedback and response from our conversation last week with Matt Stajan.
Kudos to both of you. It was excellent.
Yeah. You know what?
It was.
And that's for Matt, to be able to speak from the heart and be out there. I kind of put it on Twitter. You don't need to do that. You can just avoid the topic. It's a very personal tragedy. You don't need to speak about it, but he and his wife are happy to, and to help out others. And that is very noble. So if you've missed the stuff with Matt Stajan, it's available on YouTube, or go back and grab the podcast. We've had a great one with Robin Regier there as well. Starting tomorrow, 2-parter, Hall of Famer Mike Vernon sat down with YouTube.
Hall of Famer Mike Vernon.
Yeah, Bernie.
Before he was a Hall of Famer.
I think it was a couple weeks.
It wasn't long before.
And I saw Mike yesterday, believe it or 2 days ago, and told him it's coming soon. It'll be this week or next week. I'll send you the note. His kid has made the jump to pro hockey. He's a goalie as well, played at Colorado College. He's playing in the Coast this year in Jacksonville. Wishing him the best of luck this coming season. And for Mike, I never thought there was a chance he'd get in the Hall. And then Rogi Vachon got in a few years ago, and a bunch of articles have been talking about why are goalies underrepresented in the Hall. Amazing. Super great to see him in there. 2-time Cup winner, Conn Smythe winner with Detroit near the tail end of his career. Is phenomenal there. He gets into all that with Rhett. No.
I think it stands out to me after he got elected or called for the Hall. It's his last comments in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what it was, but it's cool to hear him say that, and then a couple weeks later gets a call to the Hall.
Here you go. Tomorrow, part 1. Thursday, part 2. More of our, I don't even know if you call it an interview, just a bullshit session with some good people who have spent some time with us. So Vernie coming up tomorrow and Thursday. Have a fine first week of August.
Long weekend, Dean.
Safe trip to the Kook there, Warner. How old's Trevor today?
He's more than a half a century, I'll tell you that.
What? Trev, too many.
Get him,
no bueno.
Yeah, get him on the 10X.
Send him the 10X.
Get on the 10X, Trev. Hurry up.
Happy birthday.
See you, buddies.